Once we've touched up our model and made changes or composites to our image, we're now going to work on our layout. So we'll go back to InDesign and we're going to start placing our items in here. I'm going to go place and find my image. And I'm going to place her on here. I'm going to draw a box that's as big as my page. Now you can see from this that she's not quite filling this space, so I'm going to make this frame as big as my page, and then if you remember, you can take your white arrow and resize the image to fit on the page. So I'm going to make it as wide as the page. I think that looks good. That puts her in this top portion. Her eyes are a little bit higher than this, but I think that's going to be okay. So I've got her placed in there. And then I'm going to add some cover lines to this. So I'm going to take my type tool and I'm going to type out pretty amazing winner. I'm going to make this about 87 points. So it's really large. It's going to be my main cover line. It's going to be really big. And then pretty, I think I'm going to choose Arial narrow and regular. And then for winner, I'm going to choose Arial narrow regular, and then for amazing, I'm going to choose Road Rage. I'm going to play around with that a little bit. I think that's going to look pretty good down in this area. Remember, I want to keep that inside of my margin. Maybe do a flush right over here since we have some empty space in here. Maybe bring this down a bit. Maybe tighten up that leading. And maybe I'll bring pretty over to the right. So making just some adjustments in here. I don't want amazing to drop down to another line. I might adjust my leading a little bit more. Maybe pull this down onto the page a bit, this inside my margin. And I think I'm going to make amazing stand out by making that red to match her boxing gloves. I think that looks pretty good. If it's a little hard to read because that red is pretty similar to her skin tone, maybe if I put, oh yeah, I kind of like that, put a stroke around that, I think that looks pretty good. All right, so then I also need to get a barcode in there. You can just simply Google an image of a barcode. Barcode. You just want to make sure that you get one that has the background is blank on it, so it should have a transparent background on it. And I'm going to place that into my design. Usually barcodes go in one of the bottom corners, and they're not really big. They don't have to be very big. Maybe about that size. That might even be a little too big. Again, I want to keep that inside my margin. I might go a little bit smaller with that. And just look online and see where those things turn out. I would add additional cover lines into these spaces as well. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to add the masthead.